We think of disability most frequently with physical disability or maybe cognitive disability. 15 to 50% or more of people of any given age have moderate to severe hearing loss. There are three kinds of assistive listening systems that you will see typically in America across performance spaces. One is FM, one is infrared, and the third one that is coming on more and more is called the hearing loop. With FM and with infrared, the person who already has very expensive hearing aids has to go to the ticket office and borrow a pack and put it around their neck and then put on earphones on top of these hearing aids. Sometimes that causes feedback. Sometimes the system isn't working right. It can be tricky to dial it in, but the one that the people with hearing loss want is hearing loops. And that's what happens when you put the sound right through the loop, electromagnetically, it goes right into the hearing aid. There are four components to a hearing loop system, three of which are with the venue. We need to put the loop down, the copper wire on the floor, we need to give you good microphones, and then we need to have a driver that pushes that sound through to the receiver. And the receiver is a little wire in the person's hearing aid, and that's called a telecoil. Some clever person in the UK and Scandinavia figured out how to adapt that to a large room setting, and that's what hearing loops are. In America, we're a little behind the curve, but it's coming, I'll tell you. Hearing loops and telecoils, which is the piece that people with hearing aids and cochlear implants bring to the equation, is an absolutely life-changing experience, and it's something that all performance spaces, well, all ticket offices, everybody ought to have, because what happens is any sound that I want somebody to hear who has hearing loss, if I run it through a hearing loop, it goes directly into their hearing aid or their cochlear implant. And what we as hearing folks don't understand, don't really realize, is that hearing loss isn't improved by making things louder. That just makes all the scratchy things they can't hear louder, scratchy things you can't understand. But hearing loops put that sound directly into the hearing aid. It bypasses the microphone that is built into the hearing aid. So they're hearing it electronically, not through microphones. What's going to happen today is that our performers, one of our performers, happens to have a pretty severe hearing loss. He needs to hear the music. He can't hear the music a lot of the times just through the public address system or through our normal speaker system. So what we've done is put a temporary loop on the stage for him. The people in the audience who use hearing aids will hear through the house loop. And Alito's also going to show you a really cool device that is like a personal loop that he can take with him. Okay, Nick, can we have the stage loop only, please? And now let's have the whole house sound, please.
So, in my experience, hearing loops to hearing aids are like a ramp to a wheelchair. Both provide total accessibility to the person either in the chair or with the loop and the hearing aids. Hearing is an incredible thing. Hearing just connects you to everything else happening in the space. And if you can't hear, if you could imagine not hearing something that you a play or a concert that you went to. My experience of being in a situation where I need to hear and I can't is incredibly frustrating. It's anxiety producing, it's a feeling of shame even. And there are things that can resolve those situations quite easily.
So the Shed installed our first hearing loop about 4 years ago in the main concert hall, the Jaqua Concert Hall. We have a loop in the ticket office. We now have loops in 11 of our classrooms and meeting rooms and public spaces. We use portable loops at our bars or concessions or dinner tables or anywhere where somebody needs to hear me better that I don't have already looped. They're quick and dirty. You've got the microphone all built in, the loop is built in, and the driver's built in. You just turn it on and you start talking.
There's a huge focus in the whole world right now about removing barriers. It's a sort of sign of the times. And this loop is an incredible thing for removing barriers, both in the performing arts, but also in society in general. The fact that I can come in this room as a hearing impaired person, beyond this stage, not have to worry about that I'm hearing the same thing that the other dancers are hearing, but that there's a certain kind of bonding that happens with the audience in the fact that they're hearing the same thing that I am. I don't have to be concerned that they know what's happening or hearing the music or hearing a certain narrative that's going on that's essential to the production being made. It basically brings us all together. DanceAbility's been around now for 30 years, and we started off welcoming barriers so that we could figure out how to overcome them. And mostly it was because the perspective is a sort of kind of paradigm change where everybody thinks you make changes for the disabled people. The changes that you make for communication and relationship are for all people. They benefit everybody equally. So we started in dance saying that dance was for everybody and to figure out a way to make that true. And we have. And so society is a better place, more educated place than before. So the barriers became opportunities to educate us again how to be together as a people, not as disabled and able-bodied people, but as people.